Hello there folks, it is TIJ going. Welcome to part 3 of our Ashes Cricket 2009 playthrough. And it's just after lunch, and as you can see we've lost a few more wickets. Now unfortunately this is me recording this afterwards, the introduction, because it seems the audio did corrupt for the first few minutes of the video, which I did recognise luckily at the time and started recording again, so luckily we haven't lost any of the video. So I'll just introduce what's happened. So it was 110 for 5, wasn't it, after we finished the last episode. Peterson was on about 35 and Matt Pryor had just started his innings. Now Matt Pryor knocked a decent total of 22, and just before we started the episode we hit an outside edge and that was Matt Pryor out, as well as Peterson. So we're at quite a precarious position really, with Stuart Broad and Graham Swann relatively new to the crease. Great to see that you guys are enjoying the series so far, but we've got quite a challenge here in that Stuart Broad and Graham Swann are new at the crease. But without any further ado, we did play 2 balls on this footage, which we simply just defended out, so you didn't miss much. But without any further ado, I'll transfer you over to me in the past, who's going to talk you through the rest of the episode. Enjoy. Fingers crossed that should have solved it. Hopefully we are now all good. That's a bit of a bouncer. I didn't catch who's bowling this, but that's a good shot. We're going to try and take a single here. We said we wanted to keep this partnership. And, well, dearie me. That is shocking. Shane Watson, we know he's given away plenty of runs before. It was a bouncer, we went for it, we were mugged. Close fielder, easy direct hit. And the really valuable, particularly at this point, the valuable wicket of Stuart Broad is gone. And that is not all that fantastic. We're going to pick Ryan Sidebottom to come in there. That is really frustrating. We've gone from 110 for 5 to 145 for 8, which just isn't a good score. So I think the priority now is getting to the end of this episode with these runs intact and keeping this innings intact. I think that's the most important thing. Yes, we can afford to lose one more wicket, but ultimately we're not going to get, realistically now, much more than 200. There's a chance here though. We've got a bounce, so I'm confident of going for it, and that is a decent shot. Luckily it goes a little bit further than the previous. And Graham Swann, bear in mind these are 2 completely new batsmen to the crease. It's the first time, probably since we lost the 2 openers, that we have 2 completely new batsmen to the crease. And Graham Swann off the mark. Now it's time for Ryan Sidebottom to face his first ball. And that is a late shot. And now Ryan Sidebottom has gone. Oh dear. First ball as well. And that is disastrous. A completely awful start. Absolutely awful start to this episode. This innings. And actually, well, we can't appeal, but the umpire called it out, but it was going down the right-hand side. So we've been robbed a little bit there. Yes, we shouldn't have let it hit Sidebottom, but Sidebottom is out unfairly. And now James Anderson, I said we had to keep this innings intact. James Anderson has to bat out this over just to keep the innings intact, and that is a more decent defensive shot. But goodness me, this innings has really capitulated and been destroyed, and we all know that Australia tends to start the Ashes better than England, but dearie me, this is a disaster. But luckily we survived the 40th over, and now it's the onus of Graham Swann. He has to be the man here. He has to control this innings. Get some support from the English crowd now, Deb, but we have to make sure that Graham is the man that commands this now. As you can see, the rest of them doing pretty well. I mean, granted, Strauss and Cook did disastrously. Oh, we've had the control disconnected as usual. But the middle order, Flintoff, Peterson and Pryor and Ian Bell really getting anyone's getting any runs. Hopefully Graham Swann and Anderson can light up that board. And to be honest, we probably need a 50 from Graham Swann to get anything solid here. So the 2 usual bowlers, not batsmen, but Graham Swann and Anderson, both worthy of setting a score. Although Swann is definitely the main man. It is Graham to bat in this 41st over. And interestingly, they're going with spin, trying to take that last wicket. But Graham Swann is well active to that. He knows. Oh, that is a good shot. Didn't expect to go that far. We're going to try for 2. We should get it. We should get 2. And we've got there. Good running from Graham Swann. Of course, Graham Swann, one of the best spinners of his time. He knows what he's doing. And runs are going to be a rarity. So we need to just try and scrap away and take them wherever possible. Now, talk about a Yorker. This is certainly one of those. A good defensive shot from Swanee. He's a little bit like Collingwood, that I think he's a very reliable batsman. He can get you a 50 when it's needed, and oh boy, is it needed now. Again, decent defensive shot. Don't think Anderson would be able to bat out these sort of overs. We've got 2 runs off it though so far. We'll try and take any of the helpings that Australia give us. And that is an outside edge, and I think they've just dropped it. Well, that's crucial. As you can see, definitely dropped by the wicket-keeper there. The crack's starting to show already. Nearly very quickly lost 3 wickets that would end the innings this episode. Fingers crossed, that's our kind of opening open the eyes chant, effectively. In saying, look, you get 1 chance here. We've been given our second life, and we need it here. We can't be bowled all out for 148. Let's see how Swanee gets on here. Last ball of the over, defended. Good defence, nothing wrong with that. And now hopefully move on to some faster bowling that we can take some runs from, of course. But not a brilliant over, 2 runs off it. The main thing at this point is that we kept the wicket. Now, Jimmy Anderson bowled out batted out the last 2 balls in 1 over. But in terms of scoring runs, it's going to be tricky here. Let's hope he doesn't follow the same route as side bottom. I'm just going to defend this. That's a decent defensive shot. The one thing we don't want to risk here is an outside edge. But ultimately, we can't be going and defending all of these because we need runs. We need the runs here, but we're going to just leave that one. There are some balls I just don't fancy going for, so we'll leave that one. Just a bit of attempt to play a nick on it and get an edge. I would love to get to 200 here, and that's why we're going to have to take our time this episode. Just be patient and take the pickings, whatever's there, and that's a bit of an outside edge, but luckily we get away with it. On Cricket 19, I don't think you would get away with that. It seems it comes off the bat and carries a lot easier, but in this game it does seem to come to the floor a lot quicker, but we're just going to leave that one. That's going a little bit wider than I first anticipated, and it looks like Pete Siddle's going to get a maiden over here. I'm not really surprised at that, although I'm going to have a go at this. I'm going to have a go down the leg side. That's a great shot with Anderson, and we judged that really well. A perfect shot, and I don't think the fielders were expecting that, and Jimmy Anderson off the mark with a boundary. I fancied that. I just thought, it's about the right line and length. I think we can take the risk, and we hit that one perfectly, and Jimmy's starting to contribute really nicely now. And that's 4 off this over. That's exactly just what we need. And I'll give Jimmy a little bit of a confidence boost. We're just going to defend this one to make sure we bat out the over. And that is a good over. 4 runs off it. And now we've got Graham Swan back in. Ideally, we want to be getting singles and rotating the strike quite a bit so no batsman gets too stressed. But ultimately, keeping the wicket to these 2 is the most important thing, particularly for the next 8 overs up until the 50 over mark, I would say. That's going to be quite a task, but I look forward to trying to do it. Oh, hit the bat, but just hit his legs at the same time. Now he's coming round the wicket. Interesting. No, he's just going to try and get an edge here, I think. Oh, that's awfully close to the wicket. That's the problem with spin bowling. Miss a ball at your peril, because it could just swing right back into you. Now we're going to go for a shot here. That's a decent shot, but just straight to the fielder. Luckily, straight across the ground. Swan knew that the fielder was there. Wasn't going to play anything in the air, but that's a little bit of a warning. Now this one could be a little bit better to take on. That's a little bit better, but again, just not long enough. Hadn't got the depth in that ball to get any runs there. So this might well be a maiden over. He goes back to his original spot, does the bowler here. Just going to defend this one. Ooh, a little bit of an edge, but once again, just coming off the bat with no pace really, and we get away with it. But coming around the wicket again, they're desperately trying to get this last wicket, as I would be completely in this situation. This is a little bit of a dangerous one. I don't like this at all. But luckily we bat out that over. It's a maiden over, but sometimes you're going to get that, particularly against spin. You don't want to be whacking spin. Yes, if we had 4 or 5 wickets in hand, I'd be playing a lot more aggressively. But at this point in the match, yes, it's come early. It's a surprise. But ultimately, at this stage of the match, we've just got to defend. No point going for that. We're playing with 1 wicket here, ultimately. We've got to protect that. Now, I'm going to just try and defend this. Oh, that's a little bit of an edge, but we get away with that. We're going to have the odd edge. You're going to have, like I say, we can't just miss everything. We're going to have to play it at some point. Move a bit further over. That makes it a little bit more covered. And that's a little bit better. It's a bit of an edge, but it's nowhere near the fielders. That's absolutely fine. Let's see if Siddle bowls 1 ball just to try and get us to play a bit of a boundary chance. But no, we're not going to go for it here. And that's just about the right timing for defence. just get comfortable in the crease and we could play a decent innings here. We don't want to do what Sidebottom did. Yes, he got out early and you can say everything about him being unlucky, but ultimately we defended the first ball and it was wrongly timed and we were given out unfairly, but that, at the end of the day, is just something that happens. In comes Siddle, and it's the last ball of the over. It's going to drift to the... oh, that's a late miss, but it looks like he played a no ball there, did he? What on earth happened here? It just seemed like the bowler jilted almost, and that was... timing was awful, but it was way off. It was completely way off the wicket, so we're absolutely fine. But we are getting into a bit of a worrying state now. Luckily, Mitchell Johnson comes in. Bit of a bizarre decision, especially after the over of the overs rather of Marcus North, and that's an edge. Well, I wondered why they'd brought Mitchell Johnson in. It was to try and fool us. There was 2 maiden overs. I felt a little bit of pressure. Let's just try and get a few runs here. Mistimed it, and that is a control disconnection just to add to all the fun. Mistimed it, edged, straight to slip. It was an easy catch. And after 44 overs, that is a very premature end to the innings. Not happy with that whatsoever. 152. Really, the second half just fell away. We weren't in a good place when Strauss and Cook got out cheaply, to be quite honest. That was really poor. But Ian Bell did decently. Collingwood disappointing. KP, Flentoff, Pryor really did all they could do. But the 4 at the bottom of the field, the bowling attack just didn't do anything at all. That culminates in a innings of 152. And it's only 2:30 on the first day. And all of a sudden, the Australian batsmen are out there. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of bowling now. So first out, Anderson's just been out batting, so it'd be wrong to get him to bowl first. We'll have Flintoff come into the crease for the first over. Now, I'm probably only going to bowl for this over. Sorry, not this over, for this episode. After this episode, I will get back to us batting, because I'm not too interested in the bowling, to be quite honest, really. But I haven't done any bowling on this for a long time, so just trying to get it nice and sorted. But goodness me, they've gone for it already here. Might have to get a little bit more of a better... oh, God, look at this from our fielders. Might have to get a little bit looser with the field. Let's have a look what we've got here. So, that seems quite sensible to me. Try a bit of a in-swinger. Play a little bit to the offside and then swing it back in. And he's played that, and that's actually going to get to the boundary, so Australia having no fear at the start of this innings. Of course, I haven't done any bowling for a while on this, but not great. But we have to just keep calm, I would say. Not do anything stupid. Just have a look what we can play with balance here. I'd say that's about right. Stay at that end of the surface. And that, goodness me, hang on, caught him! We've got a wicket! Well, what was that from Simon Cattage? Third ball of the innings. What on earth were you doing? You cannot, in the third ball of an innings, start playing it in the air. It was up in the air. Stuart Broad thought, I'll go for this. And that is a real shock. I thought, we're going to be mugged here. This could be a 4 or a 6. But within 3 balls, have made a very similar start to us. And within 3 balls, the captain, Ricky Ponting, is at the crease. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but Phil Hughes, he's only played 1 ball for a single. He's already lost his opening partner. He's hit that very hard. But yeah, that's how that ball was supposed to go, I think. And in the first over, we didn't even play one of these in our entire innings. A very mixed first over in this Australia innings. But they're showing us to be a little bit like mugs at the moment. We're going to play this balanced pace. Just see what's better. Actually, we'll go a little bit defensive. Yeah, I don't think that's too bad. Yes, it means that edges aren't really punished so much, but at the end of the day, that's a no ball. That's not great, and that goes straight past the fielder. 15 this could be. It is going to be 15 off this first over. Yes, we've got a wicket, I accept that, but if they're scoring at this rate, we've got to really do something very quickly. So let's have a look at the variants we can go for. So we've got to go for a balanced one here. This is the offside. More fielders on the offside, ideally. I think that's about right. And then Ponting the same. And we'll try that and see how we get on. Want to bowl it to leg, ideally, though. Don't want to let him get on that offside too much. And he's batted there. And that's ridiculous. I mean, it was a no ball as well, that previous ball, so it didn't count. But this is just stupid. Our bowling ability clearly a lot worse off than our batting. And to be honest, this is no fun at the moment. Yes, we'll try a few overs, definitely. But we can't be getting mugged at a rate of 22 and over. Or even more now. Another boundary. And this is just totally unrealistic. Crazy. So in the first over, Australia 26 for 1. That is quite mind-boggling. So now we'll bring in Jimmy Anderson. Hopefully he won't take any similar messing than what we took before. But actually after all that, this is Ricky Ponting's first delivery. Let's just play a bouncer here. And he's missed it. Good shot. Good shot. Good ball. What I'm on about. I've come with some daft things today. We'll try another sort of bouncer with more decent length. But he's hit that. And, ooh, did that carry? Obviously didn't. Alistair Cook having a chat to Jimmy Anderson saying, oh, for God's sake, Jimmy, don't play anything like our pal just did, Flintoff. Yes, we got a wicket, but I think that the run rate was a lot more costly than that. But it seems that Ricky Ponting being a lot more composed, a lot more conservative, and this bowling a lot better to Ricky Ponting. Try an off-cutter here, see how we get on. Much better length this time. And, oh, he's gone! He's gone! Oh, for goodness sake, this controller keeps disconnecting. But within 2 overs, we have got 2 wickets. Ricky Ponting has gone for a duck. What a start this is. Yes, we've conceded 20-odd runs. But goodness me, we tried an off-cutter. We fancied it. He played that way too early. And that was beautiful. 2 Australian wickets down. This is certainly not a batsman's wicket. Even though you could have said the contrary in the first over of the Australian innings. This is really a bowler's paradise. 2 wickets gone. 2 huge wickets gone of Katic and Ponting. And again, Phil Hughes loses another partner. But now it is Michael Clarke who comes into the crease. The names just keep getting bigger and bigger. But what an over. And what a start this has been. Yes, as I said, we've conceded the runs. But ultimately, we've got 2 wickets, which is the most important thing, definitely now. But Michael Clarke says, yeah, you've got the wickets, but we're still going to get the ones. This is almost like a one-day format, or even 2020. They're just going for it like mad. I think we'll bowl 5 overs of the innings here. Or maybe even, oh, no, I don't know. I don't really see us doing too much bowling, because ultimately it's not as fun, inevitably, to watch as batting. We are keeping Flintoff in, unbelievably, but he should be a lot better this time out. Oh, chance! Has he caught him? He's got him! Phil Hughes now gone! What a start this has been! Another wicket gone for Australia. 30 for 3 now. Flintoff, we were confident we brought him back in an in-swinger. And an outside edge. Really poor timing from Phil Hughes. And you could possibly say here that Australia are absolutely crumbling. 2 Michaels at the crease now. Michael Hussey and Michael Clarke. It wasn't just a coincidence that we batted poorly. It was that this is a shocking batting pitch. For Australia to lose 3 wickets within 2 overs, it's a good sign that we might well be bowling now, but goodness me, what a start from Australia. We'll try and get him with a slower ball of a decent length. But I never dreamed of this, not even 1 wicket. Yes, they're scoring runs, but ultimately, I don't care about the odd boundaries. If we keep getting wickets like we are, it's quite extraordinary. But what's that this episode? We've took 3 Australian wickets, 3 wickets for England as well, so wow, it's been a wicket fest, not necessarily a run fest, well it has for Australia, but we've got the 3 wickets and that really is all that matters. Absolutely extraordinary. Going to try and get, I mean they're just going to go for 2 here I would guess, but yeah, just the 2, no problem with that. But we've got a wicket this over. We've got a wicket every single over so far, and this has been quite the most extraordinary start to an Ashes series. In comes Flintoff. Oh, that's gone past the fielder again, but it's okay. Oh, the batsman gets in. I thought that could have been tight at one point, but just 1 run for Australia, and they are starting to get a little bit fearful. I don't care if it says fearless Clarke, but, you know, he's got to be a little bit fearful after what's happened in the first few overs. Goodness me. Oh, and he's missed that one. Nice shot. So what I think we will do here, I'm going to simulate a few overs, and then we'll come back into bowl, still on this episode, we'll simulate to about 15 overs, and then we'll bowl from 15 to 20. So quite a fitting time to come back into the action. It is time for tea, 15 overs into the Australia innings, and they are 60 for 3. Now the bowlers have kept them quite at a good pace. I mean, if you sort of take off the fact that Flintoff conceded 20 off runs off the 1 over, he's conceded, what, about 15 or 17 off 4 overs? So that's not all that bad, but Anderson keeping it really tight. Now, we've got Broad and side bottom who have come in. We've let Anderson and Flintoff a few overs off. A particularly good start for Stuart Broad. Ryan Spide bottom going at 3 and over. And the first over after tea, Stuart Broad is going to be bowling to Clark and to Hussey. But they're scoring slowly. Building more of a realistic partnership now, and it is Stuart Broad to bowl in the last session of a hectic first day here in Cardiff. Quite unbelievable really, 60 for 3. Decent start from these two, luckily they're not going too quickly, and that is straight over. It feels like it's something to do with the fact we've simulated that they slowed down a little bit, but that's just a complete mugging there from Hussey. We're going to come round the wickets and try a little bit of an in-swinger here. Oh, nice. Nice reverse swing. That's going to be 2 boundaries in a row. Well, Stuart Broad had kept it tight in his 2 overs before. Clearly wasn't being controlled by me. Dearie me. Bit of a slower ball now we'll try and get Hussey with, but after T coming out with a lot of confidence. Yeah, right. Okay. I see how it is. That is a hell of a lot of confidence. I'd call that a mugging personally. No, we went for an in-swinger. I didn't actually mean an in-swinger there. But oh well, we'll go for it. And it might well be the first non-boundary of this over. Quite unbelievable, really. She's going to go for 2 here. They're not going to go for 3, surely. Oh, he's gone for it. He's gone for it. He's gone for it. Come on, why haven't we gone for the other one? Why did we not go for the other batsman? Surely we should have gone to the top end. I swear I did as well. But it's the non-strikers end that they've gone for. The one that was going towards the strikers end, I presume it must have been Clark. But I don't know what on earth he was doing. We'd have definitely got him out, but we threw it to the wrong end. But have we got away with it? Let's have a look. Is he out? Oh, I think he's in. I think he's in. Oh, he's in as well. That is heartbreak. Oh, he's gone. He wasn't in. Well, this is quite an unbelievable first day here at Cardiff. I'm speechless. This is crazy. Silly running, going too aggressive, and now Michael Clark gone. And it's 76 for 4. Why on earth they went for that run, I have absolutely no idea. But crucially, they're now at half the runs that we were at this point. Well, not at this point, but they're at half the runs that we achieved. And to be fair, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they got a similar run amount to us. And after losing 4 wickets, it's our job to make sure they only get a similar amount to us. Yes, that looks like the ball's going to go away to the boundary. But what a hectic over. So many runs. And also a huge wicket in the context of the match. That is quite unbelievable. But it could have been Hussey we'd have got. The one who's got more runs. But oh well, we got one of the batsmen out. I'm really not bothered about that. We'll bring side bottom back in now. Clearly, again, as I said before, a bowler's pitch. That's so obvious. See what side bottom can do. Nice. Nice containing shot. Didn't carry, but straight to the field. Looks to be Swanee, that was. And we'll definitely be using some Swanee in the next few episodes. We'll probably just simulate the Australian innings after these overs. That's a nice shot from the batsman there. Don't know who's on strike. Could be North's first runs. We'll find out now. Yep, it is North's first runs. We'll come round the wicket now. Try a bit of an in-swinger. And that is a mighty shot from North. It seems a lot of the balls we're bowling, they're not afraid to go for. That's the problem, really. It just makes it a little bit unrealistic with the run rate. But nonetheless, it's okay. It's, you know, we're cancelling that out by the simulated overs and the fact that we're getting a lot of wickets as well. So this is turning into, and this is something that games have never really established. And never really got right, the fact that these games are over 5 days. It seems that in a lot of these games, Ashes Cricket 09, whether it be Ashes cricket by Big Ant, Cricket 19, even the old Brian Lara games, it seems that they go a lot more aggressively than usual. And this leads to a problem that the games are over in 2 or 3 days. But I've just realised how long we've been going for. This is going to be the final ball of the episode then, and it's a defensive shot from Marcus North. Didn't realise we got into this end of the episode, and this bloody the controller again. But what a hectic episode. I didn't really expect to be bowling at this point. I certainly wouldn't have expected to get 4 wickets off the Aussies. Yes, granted, we have simulated through, but after a hectic 3rd episode, this is the state of play. Australia trailing us by 54 runs, 6 wickets in hand. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think Australia will get there? Do you think they'll get to the 54 runs without losing the 6 wickets? It's been an absolutely fantastic episode. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Make sure to leave a like if you did. Comment down below as well. Of course, it's only a day to go now before the Ashes series in real life, so hopefully this is enough to hype you up. Definitely. And if it's a site, God, I can't get my words out. If it's anywhere near as exciting as this, I can't wait to watch it. Subscribe as well for more cricket content on the channel. Thank you for watching, folks, and I will see you later on. Goodbye for now.